What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to Friday's Anfield Agenda News Roundup. Couple of things. One, tonight we will be back at 8:45 for the late night agenda, and of course we'll be keeping an eye on Arsenal's game against Ipswich as well. At 6 o'clock this evening, our latest interview with David Lynch will be coming out as well. We just sat down and spoke to David for half an hour. We covered everything from the game against Leicester to, of course, the contract situation, so keep an eye for that one dropping at 6 o'clock. Until then, I'm going to go through giving you the very latest news, mainly around the contract situations. A few words from Arne Slot ahead of the game against West Ham. As always, though, we'd love to know your thoughts in the comment section. Drop a like if you enjoy, and as you can see in the top corner, we're only 19 subscribers now away from 289,000, so if you could hit that subscribe button, it would be greatly appreciated. My friends, I'm going to get stuck into it now, and we're going to start off with some reports coming out of Spain about the Trent situation. This latest one said, both within and outside the Madrid camp, there is a growing belief that Trent Alexander-Arnold will join Real Madrid in the summer. Now, I would say you use these pieces of information however you want to form the picture in your mind of what's going on. But I think the truth is right now with Trent, nobody seems to be able to get a read. And I mean from a journalistic standpoint, all we know for certain is that Trent is still negotiating with Liverpool Football Club. What happens with Real Madrid? If we're being adults about it, I've no doubts to believe that Real Madrid will have been in communication with Trent's camp, pitching numbers and ideas to him. It's going to come down to what Trent wants to do, and I'm on the fence on it. I really just don't know. Another piece on report coming from Relevo over in Spain said, Trent Alexander-Arnold is keen to do a proper farewell to Liverpool in style before joining Real Madrid. The deal between Trent and Madrid is now heating up and it will accelerate in January. And this is the risk as a fan that you feel. If you don't get these contracts sorted out before the January window opens, and we are now 4 days away, you run the risk of this type of reporting and these type of ideas maybe destabilising certainly a fan base. I'm not so sure about the dressing room because, you know, they're there working with each other day in, day out. But it certainly is a scary time for us Liverpool fans trying to figure out what way is Trent leaning in this situation. Is he going to stay? Does he want to go? What I would just reiterate is I hope he doesn't drag it out because, you know, if this plays into February, March, and it just is going to add a level of fear to the fan base that I think could be avoided. So I certainly hope we get an update on this soon enough, and a positive one, because the Trent situation is the one that most Liverpool fans right now feel a little bit scared about. Has Virgil Van Dijk, by the way, given us a little bit of an insight into where he's at? So he posted a picture of himself after the game of the 3-1 victory over Leicester with a caption that just simply said, "The show goes on." That could mean the season, could mean anything. And this is what I love about the players, and I'll give it to them. I love the fact that they know these things have double meaning and they post it out there. And is it a little tease? Is it, you know, I'm sure if you asked Virgil, he would say to you it's just, you know, him talking about the season and moving on. But I don't know, folks. Let me know what you think about it. Was that a little hint from Virgil about maybe his career at the club moving forward and continuing? Because we're going to move on now to speak about something in a moment or two with Virgil about him being a priority. So stick with me on that one. Chris Bascombe has been speaking about the situation at Liverpool and the contract, and he said Liverpool are relaxed about the new year given all indications remain that the stated preference of all three players is to commit to the club as they're continuing talks with the Anfield hierarchy. That is certainly good news. It's nicer as a fan to read these things than, you know, the Trent talking about Madrid stuff. But I thought it was interesting there that the stated preference from Chris Bascombe is all three players want to commit to the club or are showing preference to commit to the club. So fingers crossed we can get that one sorted out. Paul Joyce has also been writing, and he said, despite the rush of goals, 16, and assists, 11 for Mohamed Salah in the Premier League this season, securing Virgil van Dijk's future is believed to be the priority for Liverpool Football Club. I don't know where to go with this one, because in one mind I'm thinking, okay, I don't mind that whatsoever. But, you know, let's not forget about the guy who's, you know, ripping up the record books again and scoring obscene amounts of goals. I don't care as long as they all get done. If the club preference Virgil and Mo second, I don't mind as long as they all get done. I just hope that if they are prioritising the Virgil conversations, because let's be honest, we all feel he's probably the most easy of the three to get done. You don't want to alienate Mo, or you don't want to make him feel disrespected. You don't want to make him feel unloved, because he's the guy this season who is certainly delivering week in and week out. Defensively, we've conceded some messy goals. And look, Virgil's our captain, so you could make the argument prioritising the captain is a mark of respect as well. I just want them all to be done. What order, we'll wait and see. But for me, I just don't want the club alienating anybody. I don't want anybody feeling unloved. And I want Liverpool to start to move this process along quicker, because I won't lie to you folks, going into January, it makes me very nervous if these boys aren't signed up. Right, so Paul Joyce again has been writing, and he also said Richard Hughes and Arne Slot remain relaxed about the contract situation, because it's clear that Van Dijk and Salah want to remain at Liverpool, even if they've gone about showing that in different ways. Arne Slot on Salah, Trent and Virgil van Dijk in his press conference last night said they're in constant talks with the club. Let's see what happens. And a bit more from Arne, by the way, coming up in a second. But it must be difficult for the manager being constantly asked the same questions about the contracts over and over again. I wonder if he's going to snap at some point and be a little bit tetchy, because he's been very good spirited so far in dealing with these questions. So let's see if I guess as long as you keep winning, he probably doesn't mind. Life feels good, right? A little bit from Arne Slot about Ibrahim Konate and Connor Bradley and their fitness levels and when they might be available. He said they won't be back for West Ham. There is a week in between Manchester United and the West Ham game. Let's see how close they are then. It's difficult for me to tell you at the moment because they don't train with the group yet. Hopefully in the next few days they'll come closer to that situation. Ibu's been out for 5 to 6 weeks. Connor for even longer, or just as long, same amount of time. They're in competition with players who are completely fit and are doing really well. So I have to make the right judgment the moment they are back in the team. I think all of us would very much like Mr. Ibrahim Konate to be back for Manchester United where possible, because he has been a difference maker, particularly to shoring up the right side of that defence, and that would be a game to be nice to welcome him back. So that is pretty much where we're at with regards to transfer talk. There hasn't been too much today that we feel that we can stand over regarding incoming signings or anything like that, hence the reason we haven't brought it up in this video. But I do want to know your thoughts, of course, on the contract situations. Are you comfortable looking at all three? Do you still feel a bit more nervous about one than the other? And of course, any thoughts on the game yesterday, feel free to let me know in the comment section as well. But my friends, I will be back tonight at 8:45 with the Late Night Agenda. Very much hope that you can join us for it. We're going to get stuck into what's coming up against West Ham. Of course, the January transfer window. The preview for the West Ham game, I'm recording later on this evening, so that'll be out tomorrow morning at about 11 o'clock. Keep an eye out for that one, and as always, love to know your thoughts on my team selection and score prediction for that. That is it for me for now, my friends, but I will see you tonight at 8 o'clock. Until then, or 8:45, excuse me. Until then, have a wonderful day, and thank you very much for watching. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.